can get it for easily.
All right, let's talk about writing the equation of a line. Okay, so they're going to give us some information, and we have to know which form of linear equation to use. And so, actually, let's write down all the forms before we start.
Okay.
We have to know which form of linear equation to use, and so there are 3 forms. There is standard form. There is slope-intercept form, which we've gone over in a previous lesson. And there is point-slope form. All right, they each have things that make them special. Standard form is best used for graphing using intercepts. That's what I find standard form most useful for. And it looks nice because there are no fractions in standard form. A is never negative. Let's write that there. No fractions, or what we call no rational numbers. And A is never negative, so we'll call that always positive. Now that's A, the A portion, or what we call the coefficient of X. It's always positive and it's not a fraction. Slope-intercept form, its name really says it all. The slope and then the y-intercept are required to write that equation out. And so its name really tells you what it is. So when you see slope-intercept form, you should name the form that has the slope and the y-intercept in it. Point-slope form is another interesting one, and its name says it all as well. You're going to need one point and you're going to need the slope. And so you'll see 2 types of problems. One where they give you a point and a slope, and another one where they give you 2 points. But the beauty of them giving you 2 points is you can find the slope given 2 points. And so we're going to talk about that, but before we do that, I want you to know that this y is always going to stay y. You don't substitute anything in for it. This x is always going to stay x. You do not substitute anything in for that x. However, this y sub 1 and x sub 1, you're going to substitute an ordered pair in for those things. And so you're going to substitute the x value in here and the y value here, and then you're going to put the slope in here. Remember, point-slope form, the name is everything here. The name means everything. So for point-slope form, to write it, you're going to need a point and a slope. And for slope-intercept form, you're going to need a slope and the y-intercept. Let's take a look at a problem. If I want to write this in point-slope form, I'm going to need a point and a slope. And they gave me that here. So let's write out point-slope form. Y minus y sub 1 equals the slope times the quantity of x minus x sub 1. Now I know this is a point, so this is my 2 or my x, and this is my y. And so wherever I see my x sub 1, I'm going to put this point in here. And so wherever I see my y sub 1, I'm going to put this point in here. So I'm going to say y minus 1 equals my slope, which is here, it's 4, times the quantity of x minus 2. Now it's in point-slope form right now. Now that I have it in point-slope form, I want to see if I can put it in slope-intercept form. If you're going to put something in slope-intercept form, remember that it looks like this. And so all you have to remember about putting something in slope-intercept form is you solve for y. Y is solved for in slope-intercept form, so all you have to do is solve for y. So to solve for y here, I'm going to distribute the 4x minus 8, and then add 1 to both sides. And we're going to have y equals 4x minus 7. So I've written it in 2 forms. Point-slope form here, slope-intercept form here. And I'm all done. Thank you, Ben. Let's try another one. I'm going to write this in point-slope form, so I'm going to have y minus what?
Y minus positive 2 equals m to the quantity.
And what do they tell us m is?
6. 6 to the quantity of x minus negative 7. X plus 7.
X plus 7. X minus a negative 7 is the same as x plus 7. And so I'm going to have y minus 2, and this is cool. This is now point slope form. And they won't always ask you to put it in both forms, but I'm showing you how to put it in both forms now to see that you can manipulate these things to put it in any form you want to. So I'm going to have y minus 2 equals, distribute the 6.
6x plus 42.
And then if I wanted to solve for y, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Y equals 6x plus 44, and you're done. One more time. This is going to be what type of line based on what we know before?
A horizontal line.
So this is going to be horizontal. So if we graph it, if we're asked to graph this, we should know that it should be horizontal, right? And so it's going to be y minus what?
Y minus m
Equals
0 times the quantity of x plus 6.
And remember, 0 times any quantity is always going to be
0.
So y minus 7 equals 0.
0 plus,
So then we do what?
plus x. Plus, no, it's saying add 7. Y equals 7.
And before we started, because it was a horizontal line, because the slope is 0, we knew that it would be y equals some numeral, and not there would be no x involved in the end there. We knew that.